Hello, everybody. Welcome to Gloria Horn Sewing Studio in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I am Joni, and this is Technique Tuesday. So I am back after the Easter holiday. I went to DC to visit my daughter, and she took me to see the cherry blossoms. That was my first time seeing them. I have a brother that lives out in Gaithersburg. He's been there for probably close to 40 years. And then my other daughter in Annapolis, and she's in DC, but I never saw the cherry blossoms. So we went to see them, and it was beautiful. It was very, it wasn't what I expected. It's just beautiful. It's down by the water, and it's near the Jefferson Memorial and the Washington Memorial. And it's just a beautiful thing that you can walk around. We started at the Jefferson Memorial and we walked all the way around to the Washington Memorial. So it was really very beautiful. I was worried that I was going to miss them because they peaked March 17th and I wasn't there until March 30. I guess I was there on the 29th. And but some of the trees were like a little, you could tell that they were losing some of their blossoms. There was a lot of blossoms on the ground, and then some of them were just full of blossoms. So they had different trees blooming at different times, but it was just gorgeous. So if you'd like to see them, I would go. Probably the end of March. It seems like with our global warming, it's so warm that they did bloom quite early. But everybody kept saying, we've had a lot of wind, they might have flown away, or a lot of rain, but it was really, really beautiful and it was fun. So, so what we are going to do today, though, is we're going to work on our tote bag. So if you are new to us, let's say if you're on Facebook and this is the very first time you're with us, you'll want to go in and to create an account. So you'll go up to the comment bar and type in register, and you'll go in and put in your first name, last name, and create a password. And then if you are on the app, you are all set and ready to go. You can watch this class now, you can watch it later, you can watch all our previous classes up to a year, they have them on. So that is really the easiest way to go. Now we do also, you might be on YouTube and TikTok, Instagram. So, but on those websites, you cannot shop yet. So the app is the best place to go. Soon we'll be able to shop on YouTube.
Very soon.
Yeah.
We're about 90% of the way there.
90% of the way there. So very soon. So we want you to comment, right? Is that?
Yeah, I think the first step was we needed them to comment. We still like them to comment.
Okay.
So please do.
Yeah, yes. Please do.
Comment,
we're gonna
share and subscribe, all of that.
Yeah, so we're going to be on all the different social medias. And okay, let's see what some of the comments are. Oh yes, someone said they're beautiful to see. I did. I loved it. It was a thrill to see them. And they say we have somebody from Missouri and then Southwest Florida. It was a good Easter. And then we drove into Annapolis on Easter Sunday, and we saw my daughter and her three little ones, and so that was really nice too. And let's see, and then back to chilly Rhode Island from beautiful Florida. My son-in-law is from Rhode Island, and he is from Barrington, I believe. Yes, the Barrington. And I got to go there once too, and so that was nice. And let's see, we Canada and Indiana. So it's really good to see everybody, and to see your names and things. It's you start to recognize them. So will you review what you've done so far on the tote bag? Yeah, I'll start out with that. Okay. Now the tote bag, we have kits, and the kits come with instructions, and so this is what our tote bag looks like. Okay, so that's the front of the instructions, And it's a very simple tote bag to put together, but I really, really like it. Here is one that is done. It's a nice big size. It's about 20 by 20 when it's done. And it has this really nice little button that comes in the kit. Today we're going to make the loop and then also the tie that will tie the button on. And then inside we stuck a pillow in here so that we could, you see, it stands up really nice. So that's because we use the in-arm form, the bosal, and then right inside are pockets, and they go across, the front and the back, and then you just kind of stitch to make the pockets the different sizes that you want. And so I actually have 3 on each side, so I have 6 pockets, and then at the bottom is the lining. This is in here. This is a purse.
Purse light.
Purse light. Yeah, let's see if I can turn it on. Let's see. There it is. So you can put it in your pocket. So I'll let you see. You can see it really. See, whoops.
Oh,
there it is. There's my light. So it makes it easier to see what's at the bottom of your bag. So that's our what we're going to do today. So what I had done previously, I just followed the instructions and I started to put together the front and the back. The front and the back are exactly the same. So we put the top border on to the focus fabric. So in the center will be the focus fabric. Okay, and then I put the top border on and I top stitched it. And now I'm going to start out with, and then I put the straps on. So I sewed them down 1/4 inch on each side, and I just sewed them as far as up to the border. So I left this part open, and then later on when we sew the lining in and turn it inside out. This will be one of the last things we do. Then we will take the straps and stitch them down like that, and then stitch all the way around them. So that's one of the last things we do. So next is we're going to put the bottom border on. So we're going to sew the 7.5 inch by the 20 inch piece onto the bottom, and that is right here. Okay, so we're just going to put right sides together. Everything was cut. The instructions tell you exactly how to cut the pieces. So you'll get 4 different fabrics, and this one I call this one like the main fabric. It has for the borders and the straps. So you'll get a big piece of this, and then the instructions will tell you what size to cut. And let's see, we're going to go over here and get some. I'll get some clips. And so we'll start here.
You made it just in time for the cherry blossom.
Yeah, I think so. I think it goes till like April 14th, but I don't. Not sure.
It depends on the weather. If it gets windy, you said.
Yeah. That's what my sister-in-law, who did the weather in the D.C. area for many years, she said that they had a lot of wind, and that would bring the blossoms down. There were some down, but I got the full to see exactly what it was like. Okay, so then we'll put this on this side, and let's see, I'll use some pins on this side. Okay.
We were not on at noon today.
No, now that
Tiffany might pop in.
Yeah, she just she is back from England, so and today was her first day back, and she's going to come in later on towards the end of the class, and she's going to tell you about what she saw in England, and she's also going to kind of tell you what she's going to do next week.
But I think Gloria's getting ready for Thursday.
Yeah, she is.
It's
She's
a
down
big-
there sewing away. She's downstairs and she's getting ready for Thursday.
I think there's
Thursday
something
night.
special cooking Thursday.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, and I think Steve's got. He's kind of.
It's a big secret, so
It's-
we're not supposed to
yeah.
tell anyone.
Okay, good. We won't tell anybody.
No.
Okay, so I'm going to go over here to my sewing machine. I'll show you how to set it up. Okay, so I have.
Oops. Let's see. Oh, let me click something over here. Let's see here. I think I'm good now. There we go.
Okay.
We're good.
All right, so first of all, I'm on my Solaris, so I'm going to go into sewing and we'll say okay, and the carriage of the embroidery unit will move. I wanted to put my table on, but we might get to embroidery, so that's, and these aren't real big pieces. So in my machine always goes right to the straight stitch. And so I'm going to make sure that I turn on my securing stitch right here. And then also the scissors. And also I want the hover feature to be on. So that means that when I stop sewing, the presser foot will raise so I can do any pivoting or anything. But so it will automatically tie off and automatically cut for me. But I'm also going to go in and turn on my laser light right here. And so I'll just touch that and I get a window that will open up. And there are two lines right here. So the red one is called the main one. And that one shows me where my needle will sew. But then I want this one to be a 1/2 inch away from the needle. So let's see, I think it's at 3/8 right now. So I'm going to go to my sub. My main is okay. Well, let's see, let's make sure our main is okay. Let's go back here. There. Now it's perfectly right in the center. So then I'll go to the sub and I'm going to move that green one over to the 1/2 inch mark. And so I'm just going to keep hitting the plus button and it will move. And it's giving me the millimeters, but all of a sudden, there it is. It says 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'll close that. And so I have my 1/2 inch mark. So I can put the edge of my fabric right on the 1/2 inch mark. So I have a green line and I'll just kind of rest my edge of my fabric against that green line. And then we'll lower the foot. Oops, my presser foot is not plugged in. There we go. Yeah.
That explains it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to start here and we're going to use, okay. And so it will sew forwards and backwards. And I'll just.
The pattern does come with this kit, right?
Yes, the pattern comes with it. One.
Okay, 2 questions.
Okay.
Could you embroider before you start putting it together, or would you rather do it?
Well, I'm gonna. We're gonna embroider it after we get the whole front put together, and you could do that. You could, but I wanted to embroider through the bolsel, so I would say no. Yeah, we want to put the bolsel on and then iron that on, and then we're going to embroider. Okay, so when I come to the end, I'm just going to touch the reverse button, and that will activate my back stitch. I don't have to step on the foot control, and then it will come, and then it will cut the thread. Okay, and then I'll do the other side, and we'll put this one aside. Yeah.
The other question is, where did this quilt come from? This one on the wall.
Okay, now I think Ruth Ann did that one. She's on.
So Ruth
I
Ann,
think I saw
help us
her.
out. Like, what,
Yeah, and I believe she did that. She did all these beautiful quilts, and so that is a really pretty one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's going to step on the foot control, and it'll go so forward and backwards, and then we'll just.
Do you ever use the knee pedal?
Well, it's the knee lift, and I do. Yes, I do use that. I like it a lot. There's sometimes when here I'll just show the end. I'll explain that. And yeah, so we're going to come to the end. So the knee lift. Let's see. We're going to go here, and then we'll just touch the reverse button, and it will backstitch and cut the thread. So the knee lift is, and I should show this sometime too. You plug it in right here, and then when I would use my knee to raise and lower the presser foot. So you think, well, I do use this where the presser foot will automatically raise. But sometimes if you're doing something like applique and you're pivoting so frequently, like you're just sewing a couple of stitches and then you have to pivot, it just gets sometimes it bounces up too much. So then I like to use a knee lift. So but the knee lift allows you to have your hands on your fabric. You don't have to touch any buttons, and you just use your knee to lift your presser foot. So I like them. It's nice to have both of those features. Okay, so now we're going to go to the ironing board. And let's see if anybody else has.
Rainy Wisconsin. It was quite rainy this morning, wasn't it? Over here
it was very rainy. In fact, we had a roofer come to our house. I thought maybe he wouldn't come, but now they do everything with a drone and things like that. So, okay, so now my next step is to press this down, and then we're going to top stitch it. So let's make sure my iron's nice and hot. We'll give it a second. So we'll press that. And then we'll go back and top stitch. And then we're ready to do a little bit more ironing. Okay, let's see now. Okay. So we're going to press that down.
And this is blooming blue. It's in the bubble.
Yes, it's blooming. So the kit comes with everything you need except for the stabilizers. And you'll need the shape flex and also the Bosel, the NR form. And it's fusible on one side. And
we do not have the pattern separately. It's
that's this one. Right? It's part of the. So we print it out for you, and then you have it. Okay.
Is that Bosal single-sided?
Yes, it's fusible on one side. Okay, because we make the front and the back, and we put it together, and then we put the lining in. So that's why we don't want it fusible on both sides. Okay, so now we're going to go back, and we'll do the top stitching.
Okay.
Okay, so and then we'll turn off our laser light. Now, when I top stitch, I'm going to use the straight stitch again. This time I'm going to increase the stitch length to about before we used the default setting, it was 2.5, and now I'm going to go up to a 3. Okay, and I'm just going to sew. We want to sew on the border, and I'm going to leave. I'm going to put the side of my presser foot right along the edge, and that will help me to sew straight. And also I'm going to turn off the securing stitch because we don't really need to back stitch on a top stitch. So I'm just keeping my eye on the seam and on the left side of my J foot.
Can you use fusible fleece instead?
And actually that's the pattern calls for fusible fleece, but we chose to do the in our form, the Bosal, just to make it, the fusible fleece might droop a little bit. Not droop, but kind of, it won't hold it up as perfectly. It won't keep that really sturdy looking shape. So that's why but you could use, that's what the pattern originally called for. Okay. Okay, and we'll cut the thread. Okay, so now we're going to go back and we're going to do some pressing, a lot of pressing. So
you're going to want to have your Panasonic iron.
Yeah, hot. We're going to make sure it's nice and hot. And then also, while we're pressing the Bosal on, I'm going to make my little loop to put the button through. So there, you'll have a piece that's 2 inches by 6 inches. And what I'll do is just fold that in half and press that like that. Okay.
We have listed that the stabilizer is included. I think that's a mistake, right?
The
stabilizer is not included.
No, the stabilizer is not.
Okay,
it's all the fabrics and the instructions. Okay, so I pressed it in half. Then I'm just going to take my 2 long edges and fold them towards the crease. Okay, and then we'll take this side, and this one will be the loop that the button will go through. This is my Panasonic iron. You'll notice it doesn't have any cords, so we love this iron. Okay, and then I'll fold them, the folded edges together. press
See if
that.
there's any.
Let's see. Okay. All right. And then this one won't be in the instructions. We just added this because of the type of button that we chose. We had this really cute little, like a little toggle button. And so I'm making this little strap. So I just added the scraps of fabric. I cut a piece that was about 1.5 inches, and I'd say this is probably about 12 inches. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, this one was actually 12.5. And so there again, we'll fold it and press the seam, and then we'll take this and fold the raw edges into the center. Okay, there you go. Okay. And then we'll do the other side. And the kit does come with the button. And we kind of give you a color that looks nice with the fabric. They're in different colors. There's a brown one and like a golden yellow one. They're little wood buttons, and the black one, and we always pick one that goes really nice with the fabric. And then again, we'll fold this in half. Okay, so I'm just going to put these aside. Our next step is to stitch them down, and then we'll also sew them to the bag once we get the bowl sew on. So I have that, and oops, there we go. I dropped something. That's all right. I have a piece of this I cut 21 by 21, and and then the fusible side is kind of like the rougher side. This one is kind of very smooth, and if you'll feel like a little rougher, you can feel the glue on it. And yeah, so then we'll take this, and we want our iron nice and hot, and we'll lay this on top.
No pattern. Yeah, no pattern. Sold separately. The pattern is included.
Yes, right? Yes, and included with the kit.
Yeah, the pattern you will not find on the website.
Yeah. Okay, so I have this, and I'll start right here in the center, and we're just going to press this. And I'm going to try and press it really good. Sometimes I think I'm always sewing in a hurry, and maybe I don't spend as much time as I need to with pressing this down. So I just kind of move it a little bit.
Take your time. I'll play with my camera slider.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, no, it's not ready.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get that ready.
There we go.
Here we go. Take your time.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm just starting this center, kind of working my way out. Okay. But I love to go to DC, and like I said to my daughter, the museums are free, and of course there was no charge to view to go through the cherry blossoms, but the restaurants are expensive and the hotels are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have to stay in a hotel since she lives there, but it's a nice place to.
What museum did you go to?
We didn't go to any this time, but I've been to the Portrait Gallery, which I like a lot, and then last September we went to the Fiber Arts Museum, and that was nice too. Mm-hmm. So I wish we could get in to see the White House. I guess that takes a little bit more planning, and you have to sign up and be cleared for. But Deb,
cleared.
What's that?
You had to be cleared.
Yeah, yeah, and
good
then
security.
Yeah, and then Deb, who was one of our girls who works here on the Thursdays, and she did get to go and tour the White House. Okay, so I'm gonna say, let's see. I'm gonna make sure I got this up here.
So how like this pattern is a pretty simple pattern. It's not very difficult for you, right?
No, I would say this is very simple.
And you might be able to find the pattern elsewhere, but here you also get a nice tutorial video.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we'd appreciate
Yeah.
you buying the kit, and the pattern will come with it.
Mm-hmm. Hello. You want to come in and talk while I iron?
You? Oh.
Yeah. Here, you can.
Oh, that's a pretty one.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Tiffany
Hi,
is here,
everyone.
and she's going to tell us about her. There we go.
Hello. So I've been missing for a while, missing all of you, but I was in London, and I had the opportunity to do a little fabric shopping. I went to something called Stitch Festival, which Gloria had told me about before I went, and just all these wonderful, great ideas. And but I wanted to give you a little update, because part of why I didn't go on today, well, one, jet lag, so you can probably see I've got some serious bags under my eyes.
Oh.
But anyway, the Morgan Messenger bag, just so you know, the patterns finally shipped today. So, oh, I see. Hi, Deb. I see you saying hi to me. How fun. Oh, and Joanne. Oh, and Carol. Hello.
Yeah,
oh, this is fun.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
But anyway, they finally shipped. We had thought they were coming while I was gone, so I didn't pick them up while I was there. But so anyway, again, it's coming. They shipped it today or tomorrow, so we'll have it this week, and they'll be coming out to you. The kits are all made. I finished every last one of them today because I wanted to make sure they were done. So shipping has everything ready to go. As soon as the patterns come in, they're just going to pack it all up together and send it to you. So next week we will be starting. And hi, Susan. Thanks for the welcome back. I know I'm missing a bunch of people. Hi, Teresa. So anyway, so we'll start next week. On our website, PJ had posted our cutting instructions. So we're going to cut for next week. I am going to put together an outline what we'll be doing each week. So we will have kind of an outline of what we're going to do. So next week I'll go through and we'll have everything cut. And I know I had said this before, but because so many of you didn't get your kits and we were waiting for so many patterns, I don't want anyone to fall behind. So if some of you may have already moved ahead, which is great because you'll maybe be able to give us some tips as we're going along. And so there's that. But I have some other exciting news. So I'm just going to give you some little tidbits. You get a little sneak peek of what we're doing. We're working out the final details. So next week, I'm going to go over some of the stuff I did see in London because it sort of inspired me in some different ways. And so we're going to go over a little bit of that and some inspiration, what I'm doing with the fabric that I brought back, because I brought back an entire duffel bag full of fabric.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah. So I always pack a duffel bag for our souvenirs. So there were a few teas in there as well, and I brought some chocolates into the store today to share. But anyway, so I'm going to share that a little bit with you next week once that's a little more organized. But I had dropped a hint about this a while ago, and some of you commented that you liked the idea. And I talked to Gloria, and I've kind of put more thought into it over time. And after being at the Stitch Festival and talking to some other people who are just very creative, it was just very inspiring. So we're going to start a bag club here.
Oh, good.
And so I think we're going to start off first quarterly. And so it's going to include, as of right now, this is what we're leaning towards, having several patterns. One will be one of my own based on current trends. And while I was in London, that's part of why London ties in so much. They were very fashionable. You should have seen these ladies. Oh my goodness. They like
I would have loved that.
Young girls dressed in Chanel, like fully dressed in Chanel. They're 5-inch heels, makeup, like, I mean, gorgeous, stunning makeup that I'm like, okay, it was way too much for me, but, and hair done, and I did make it to Liberty Mary. It was a beautiful store. And I feel like I have ADD right now. I'm like talking and reading. Sorry if I'm like babbling too much. So anyway, these girls, they were stunning and all well put together. So it was really fun going to Selfridges, Liberty. I went to Harrods, and I snuck a lot of pictures of bags and things. So one of the things, part of what I wanted to do with Bag Club is having a bag that we make that's based on current trends and what's out there right now. And so that'll be one of the things in Bag Club. If you're not interested in doing the membership, the Bag Club, the patterns will become available later. So those of you who want to do it right away will be able to. They'll get one of my patterns. They'll get, we're going to try a different designer each quarter. So that'll be kind of fun. So, and I apologize, I don't have any in mind at the moment. I've done a little research and have some ideas, but like a noodle head and a Sally tomato and a biani, and those are some of the ones we've done already. And so we'll be doing some different ones. And then kind of a mystery one, because I'm not sure what that third one's going to be, but we'll definitely have something fun going on with it. And then let's see. So we'll do video tutorials. So again, it's quarterly, so we'll be able to do the tutorials. We'll be doing kits. So you'll be able to get a kit that includes, so your Bag Club membership would be the patterns, it would be the fabric and the hardware for at least one of the bags. We're still trying to figure this out exactly and how we keep costs to make sense. And we'll also have some surprise gifts for you. So I feel like I've completely monopolized you. You're ironing
I'm still ironing. Yeah, so, I thought I'd take my time, make sure I did it well.
It's a beautiful bag. So, all right. Well, if anyone has questions, feel free to put them in the comments and I can look later. I always feel like this is a very one-sided conversation. Let me just come in and just talk to you. All right. And then price point, we'll let you know that next week, because Gloria and I are kind of looking at it a little bit, trying to figure it out. So I'm hoping next week, if not the following week, because there's some other stuff going on in the shop. So I don't want to rush her too much. But I think probably the next couple weeks, we'll have that kind of ironed out as far as what we think the cost will be and when we'll be able to start. So I think we'll be able to give you some of those numbers and then be able to get the patterns ready and start within the next 3 to 4 weeks. So
okay, so that sounds good.
All right. Any questions you guys can think of I didn't cover? I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think PJ's going to love the fact that I'm a little more organized because of it. Because I have a tendency to sort of show up on Tuesdays like, this is what I'm kind of thinking we're going to do today. So.
I can't wait to see what you have for next week as far as like what you've seen in London.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't wait to see your fabric.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
I snuck it in today, but I just was like, I don't think we're quite ready to do it. So, all right. Well, thanks for letting me crash your party,
Yeah,
so
that's
to
all right.
speak.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, again, I've missed you all. It's nice seeing you, and I'll see you next Tuesday.
Okay.
And I'll see you later. And you
Yeah,
as well.
okay.
All right, let me give PJ this.
Yeah.
There you are.
All right.
I think I'm good now. As far as like, yeah, let's see. Yeah, so I just kind of press it and let the heat melt the adhesive. Okay. Okay, I think I'm good now. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to sew the little loop onto the to the front, and then also the tie. So actually, they're both exactly the same. So we can sew them on in any order, you know, on either side. So let's see. I have my little tie right here. Okay, and I'll just pick this side. So I want to find the center of the bag. So let's see. And I want to put it like right in the middle of that border. So let's get out the ruler, and so this should be 20 inches. Yes, it's 20 inches. So at the 10-inch mark, we'll place that. So let's get a marking pen. Let's see. I'll grab one over here. Yeah. Okay. This one is, let's see if this one, okay. So right here, there, I'm just going to put a little mark there so I know where to sew that. And then also on the other one, we'll do the same thing. We'll find the center.
Patsy says we could, what did she say here? She said we could also include a private Facebook group for members only.
Okay.
For some sort of like a private event sale, is that?
You mean so let's see,
Well, I think Steve is working on something very
Oh,
exciting.
really?
And,
Okay.
and there might be more news about it
On
tomorrow, or maybe even this evening.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one is where I'll put the little loop on. So I just marked the center. I found the 10 inches. And so I have this one. Yeah. Let's see what happened to my other one. Okay, right here. So then next, so we'll go to the sewing machine and we'll sew these together, and then we'll also sew them on
for
here.
The bag club.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. So, so we're going to take this and this. Okay. All right.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to go here. We'll put this one on. Okay, first of all, we need to stitch these down. Okay, so I'm just going to sew these together. And this time I'm going to choose the straight stitch where it stitches in place. So that's stitch number 4, and I'll just go ahead with that 2.5 stitch length. And I'm just going to put this folded edge kind of like on the left side of that right metal toe. Okay, and we'll just start sewing right there. There, so it will, there we go. I don't think it secured it, so I'm just gonna cut it and we'll go back and, okay. I'm gonna move it over a little bit more. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn on the securing stitch so it will stitch in place. So I'm going to move it over just a little bit more to the left, so I sew a little bit closer to that edge. So it's stitching in place, and then we'll just sew across.
And very soon we're going to do a little embroidery, right?
Yes, yes, and we're just going to kind of we're going to start it because I think it's going to be fun to do, but then we're going to kind of get into it more in the next class. Okay, so I can come to the end, and I'm just going to touch the reverse button, and then it will secure this stitch. We'll stitch up in place 4 times, and we'll cut the thread. And then I'll do the same thing on this one. Okay, and we'll come to the end and touch the reverse button, and it will stitch in place. And we'll cut the thread. Okay, so I have that, and then we'll take this one, and it doesn't matter what side we put it on. So let's do this one. So okay, this one was the one I marked for the tie. So I'm going to find this. I have my little mark right there, and we'll fold this in half. Like that. And I'm going to place that right on top of my mark. And I can stick a pin in to kind of hold it in place. So we'll take that. And I'm just going to lower my foot and just go back and forth a few times. So we'll go. Okay, and I'm going to take off that securing stitch because I want it to sew backwards. Okay, so it's still, okay. Okay. Okay, and then I just go back and forth a few times, and then we'll cut the thread. Okay, and then this one, so there I have it, and later on we'll put the button in and thread them through the button hole, the little holes in the button. Mm-hmm. And then this side, I'll take this, and I have my center marked right here, and we'll take the loop and I'm going to kind of loop it like that, and I'm going to put my folded edge right on my mark, like. Okay, so I have my my edges right there, and then the same thing on the other side.
There were some questions about the Blooming Blue kit and whether we were waiting for fabric. This is shipping now, I believe. That
yes,
so
we have fabric for this. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So shipping.
So now I'm just going to stitch this down, and I'm just going to put the side of my presser foot along the edge, and later on we'll sew a seam about a half an inch. So I'm just putting this the side of my presser foot against the edge of the bag, and we'll stitch that down and stitch it in place. Okay. Okay, and then we'll just back stitch. Okay, and we'll cut. Okay, so now if you want to embroider it, this is where you would embroider it, and I'm going to embroider it in these 3 sections. Okay, and we're gonna go over here, and I'm gonna kind of describe to you what we're using to do all this embroidery. And so I made one about 2 years ago, and I used the Kimberbell clear blue tiles, and I really liked it because you can do all your custom quilting, and it's a really nice set. When you open it up, you'll get a really nice little booklet, and there's all kinds of quilting embroidery designs, and they come in all different sizes, and there are also templates for every one of the designs, and they give you a marking pen, and the instructions are all in here and shows you how to mark your fabric. But so that you can see these are all the different templates. So there's some for borders, and there's also some for just like quilting blocks, and they're all different sizes. They go up to 8 inches high and 8 inches wide. Now there is an expansion pack that will take you up to 14 inches. But and then there's many different designs. So right here they're in different categories. So there are winter designs, spring, and then this one is swirls, and then fall and summer, and then this is loops. And then there's border designs. So you have borders in swirls and borders in loops. And then these are called biddy blocks. So whenever you have like a little cornerstone, you can kind of customize and put in a really cute little design. So there's a watering can and a flower. And then this one is, I'm looking at it upside down. That one is, a hat. Okay, a little hat. And we've got mittens and a swirl and a little honeycomb and a flower, and that's the hat, and that's the watering can. So I really like it. I'm going to sew one out on the Solaris, but we also have with us today is the Pathfinder. So what I want to do is do one side with the Solaris, okay, and then I'll at another time, and we'll probably just do the center one today, and then I want to do one on the Pathfinder. The Pathfinder is a really nice embroidery only machine. It's and it will take up to the 8x12 hoop. Okay, so I thought that would be kind of interesting to show one with the Solaris, and then you can see how to do it with on the Pathfinder. It has a lot of really nice features that help you to with embroidery placement, but it doesn't have things like the camera nor the projector that the Solaris has. So so I guess we'll get started. I'll just go ahead, and what we can do is, so I'm just going to take one side, and in the kit you have all of your templates, okay? And I kind of picked out mine that I was going to use. But this is for the 8x8 block, and this is going to fit right in here like that, okay? And you can lay that in there, and it comes with a pen, and you can mark your fabric. And then this one is going to fit right in here like that, okay? And but it has all different sizes. There is also, that one was 8x8, and this one is 8x10, and I think that's the largest it goes up to. And then, but it also goes much smaller. And then there's the borders, and they'll go all the way up to 10 inches also. And so you have all these templates, and then you have these marking pens and a USB stick that has all of those designs on it and all those different sizes. So what I did is and this worked out really well, because the finished size of this is like, this is 8 inches, so it's about 9 inches. Remember, we cut this 10 inch by 20, so finished with the, we used 1/2 inch seam allowance. This will be 9 inches, so this will work out perfect. So I'm just gonna lay it in here and kind of center it. So it looks like I have about 1/4 inch on each side, and another little 1/2 inch right here and right there. Okay, and then I'll take the...
Oh, you know what? I think I have, what did I do? I put in the expansion pack in the bubble.
Oh, okay.
That's my mistake.
Okay, the expansion
Do you
pack.
want to? Yeah, here.
Yeah, I'll explain the expansion pack.
Okay.
Okay, so this one is the Kimberbell Clear Blues. This is what you would start with. It's called the Essential
Essentials.
Kit.
That's my mistake.
Yes, and it goes like, and it has all the finished block tiles and finished border tiles, and they start out at the finished block tiles. Start at it 2x2, 2x4, 2x6, 2x8, 2x10, and 4x4, 4x6, 4x8. So you get all those different sizes, goes up to 4x10, and then 6x6, 6x8, 6x10, 8x8, and 8x10. And then the finished border tiles, they start at 1 inch and they go up 1x7, they go up to 6x7, 1x10, and they go up to 5x10, and then there's a 6x10. But then the essential, this one is called the expansion pack, and this one would take you up to like a 14 inch. So let's see. So these are the finished block tiles are 2x12, 4x12, 6x12, 8x12, 2x14, and 4x14, and 6x14, and 8x14. So this would allow you to go all the way up to your Destiny and the Altair and the Meridian, okay, because you could use your 9.5 by 14 inch hoop. And then also the finished border tiles, they start at 1 inch and will go up to 12, and then also go up to 6x12, and then 1x14, and then go all the way up to 6x14.
That's
okay.
My apologies. So,
okay.
Just to be clear, for this project, you are using the essentials.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, because I wanted to kind of just embroider on that section, just our focus fabric. Okay, so I have the 8x8 template on here, and then this one is the 4x8, and I thought they fit in just perfect. So you're going to lay it on there, and then we'll take the pen that it comes with. This is a water soluble pen, so you'll just have to wipe it off when you're done, and that you just take a damp cloth and just wipe it. So I'm going to mark the center of my design, and then we'll come up like that and mark that. Okay, so it's got, okay, here we go. Okay, and then I think you can see
Yep.
that. Yeah, even though it's a blue pen. All right, so this one, I'm gonna kind of squeeze it over to the left, to this side, because we have a 1/2 inch seam allowance right here. So that works out just perfect. I have about a 1/2 inch left over. And there again, I'm just gonna look for about approximately 1/2 inch at the top and 1/2 inch at the bottom. And then we'll mark the center. And then we'll come up here and there. Okay, and then the same thing over here. I'm just gonna kind of slide it over as far as it will go and look for a 1/2 inch on each side, and then we'll mark the center. We'll make sure we can see the center. That's really the most important one. Okay, there we go. I'm just going to make a little bigger since I have a blue on blue. That one was easy to see, and this one was easy to see also. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're going to go over to the machine, and we're going to set it up for embroidery. So let's see how we're doing on time. All right.
We're doing really well.
Okay. So I'm going to take my ankle off. I'm using my multi-function screwdriver, and we'll put the embroidery foot on.
think I may have caused some confusion, so I apologize with the expansion pack. We should go over those again.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I chose to use this variegated thread, and I immediately went and filled the bobbin up, but you really don't need to use the embroidery thread in the bobbin because we're never going to see the inside of it. So we'll use a regular bobbin weight thread, a 60 weight thread. So first we'll thread that with the, because I'm used to doing edge-to-edge quilting where we want it to look the same on both sides, so you always fill a bobbin up with your embroidery thread. But this, we don't need that. So we'll thread this. And I'm going to use one of my pre-round bobbins in the, okay, so we'll thread, and then here's my pre-round bobbin. We'll take that out, and we'll thread that, okay. Okay, so now we have to bring the design up, and I believe what I did is I saved it to the machine. But all the designs should be, are on a USB stick. So I'm just going to go into Home, and then we're going to go to Embroidery. Okay, and it will calibrate. And then we're going to go into the pocket. And there it is. So, so this design is, it's 7.86 by 7.85. So we use the 8x8 template, and then we'll just hit set, and then we'll go into embroidery. Now I'm going to be using my, let's see, well, we're going to use our magnetic hoop. So maybe we should.
We'll come up here.
Yeah, we'll come over here and you can kind of see. So I did, you don't trim your bozo off because it just gives the machine something to hold on to. And what we'll do is take this. Okay, and we're going to go like that. Just going to center it, and let's see if we can do that. Okay, just checking something. Okay, and then we'll put the magnetic hoop on. And we just want to make sure they're sitting right on top of each other. So this is the 10.5 by 16 inch hoop. Okay, now I could have tried to center it, but it would be good for you to see it not center. But what I could have done was taken this and lined it up with the 0 mark on my tape. And that would have helped to center it. But I'm just going to go ahead and do it the way it is. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to go over here.
I'm coming.
Okay. Okay, so we'll slide that in. Okay, and it just says the carriage of the embroidery unit will move. Okay, so you can see that there's lots of different ways I can place it, but that will help me position my fabric. I can turn on this little laser light, okay, and you can see there's a little green cross right there. And that's the center of my design. And then you can see the center of my design, but the center of my fabric where I want it placed is up here. So that's one. So I could also just go into layout, and then I can touch that and move, and we can move that up until the um, okay, like that. And so that's one way, but there's lots of ways. So I want to show you every one. Okay.
Every one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Maybe not every one of them,
Okay.
but so there I know that it is. It's in the center now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can also go like this and touch right here where it has a little needle in the center,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll touch that and see. I can go up there and watch it on the. It's up at the top now,
Mm-hmm.
and that is just maybe a little bit off to the left a little bit. I probably wouldn't worry about it, but I'll show you what I'll do. But so, and see, this will take it back to the center, and then this one will bring it down. And that one's perfect. But this, let's see, if you want it to be absolutely perfect, what I would do, since I have the magnetic coupon, is I would just pull on it a little bit like that. Okay, so now I know that's at the top and down to the center and then down here. Okay, and then I can also check the sides. So right here, there's my blue line, and we'll go back to the center. Okay, and then we'll go all the way over to the left. Okay, so then I know that it's fine now, and I could hit my green light and sew it out. But I just wanted to show you a few more. Okay, so then also, so that's one way. And then let's go to the camera. So I'm going to put the design back where it was. So let's go in here. Let's see, we want to kind of move it back to where it was. So there's a little icon here that kind of resets. Okay, so we're going to go in here like that. And we'll go back to, we want to reset. So let's go to return. And I want to take it back to the center. Okay, well, let's just go into move, and we're going to move it down. Okay, I can see right here when it's in the center. Whoops. Okay, let's go this way. Okay, and then we're going to go this way. There. Okay, so now it's in the center. And so there again, it's not, I need it up here. So I'm going to go up to the camera and touch it. And then we're going to, we want our background image on. Okay, now, okay, I didn't mean to do that. What I really like about this machine is before we had to kind of go into the settings page and delete the background, but you can turn your image that was just scanned on and off. So that's why somebody scanned, I guess Gloria did this last Friday. So let's turn that off and let's touch the scan button. And so we're going to touch it, and its frame will move, and it's going to take a picture. So it's going to take a picture of everything that's in the hoop.
Is it going to hit the wall? Nope.
Yeah. Okay, and there's my,
Oops. And which
Okay.
one? That one. Okay.
okay, so this might be a little hard for you to see, but there's my design, and you can see it's down here. I can see my stitching right there. And then also, so what I'm going to do is just place my design where I want it. And I can see the little blue lines. So what I'll do is I'll close that, and we'll go into move, and there I will move it up. So there, my design's going up like that. And okay, I went too far. There, so, and then, so I can see it's kind of like centered right there. And So we'll say okay. And then when I go into embroidery, do you see how it jumps to where it needs to be? So now, if I turn on that laser light again, you'll see that it's right there in the center.
Wow, that is
Okay.
really cool.
All right. And then the other one will be that I want to show you is, so let's go into the camera and we're going to turn off our background image. And I have the design there. And I'll just close it and I'll go into layout and we'll move it. We'll just move it down like that. There it is. I can see it right in the center. And so I can use my projector. So there's my little cone shape. So it's going to shine the light down on it. And you touch that and it will open up a little window. It's like a 3x5 window. And I can see my design there. Okay, and I wonder if I can't make that. There's different, you can change like the lighting on it.
Mm-hmm.
So this one.
There you go.
You think that's better?
Oh, I can see it, yeah.
You can see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or let's try this one. This one is the gray. And that one I think is, and then the white. So I would say probably that one was the best one I can see.
Think so.
Yeah. Okay.
So which buttons were you pressing there?
Right here it
color.
says background color.
Okay.
Okay, and that was the default. That's what came up, and you could use that one, but PJ thinks that he can see that better. Okay, so but you see the 3x5 window is up here in the center. So let's do that there. I think you can see the 3x5 window better with that one. Mm-hmm. So it is in the center, but I want to test like the outer edges. So I'm going to touch that little red box and move it down. Okay, and I can see that it is down here. Let's move it back. What kind of right here? And I can see. Let's change that color again. Okay, so I can see that my stitching right here. So that's off. So I'm going to go up right here and move that design up. And I can see it moving up. And I'm just going to I'm going to quit right there. I went a little bit too far.
Is this where you would stick a piece of paper in?
Yeah. Sometimes you can see that better. Okay, do you see? There's my design.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I wanted it about a half an inch away from there. Okay. So this would be your, like that. Okay. Then let's check the top. Like that. Okay. And there again, it's right here. So I think I need to move it up just a tiny bit more. Do you see? There's my seam right there, and there's my design. So I'm just going to touch the arrows. There. Oh, I went too far.
Oh, you have your machine light on, so maybe that's why it's not showing.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's turn that off. So we'll go over the settings, and we'll go to... and we have, all right, so let's see. Press, okay, pivot height. Okay, up here it is, light. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to go in and turn that off. Whoops. Okay. No, I don't think that did.
So that's the...
Yeah, that's... Oh, you know what? I left that here. So I have to turn it back. There we go. Okay, there it is. I had to go back to that screen.
Okay.
Okay, so now we're going to go this way.
You could turn the light off to help you out a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so let's just look at this. And I'd say that's That's good. I have about a 1/2 inch there. Let's check the bottom one again. Okay, and I think if I put that like that, that was a little bit more helpful. So we're gonna go bring it down just a little bit, kind of center it. There, okay. There we go, and then we'll check this up again. There, I'm just gonna move it up just a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to check the sides. So we're going to take that red box and move it over here. And there it is. I've got about 1/4 inch right there. So that seems really good. And then we'll go over the other side. And there it is. Okay?
Very nice.
Yeah. So now we're ready to sew it out. So those are the 3 different ways. And I'd like to show you at our next class, the Pathfinder. You know, we'll finish the sides, and then we'll also do it on the Pathfinder, so you can kind of see how we place with that machine. So we're just going to say okay, and there it is, right there in the center, and we're just going to touch our.
How about that green light, that crosshair right there, and how do you enable that?
Oh, okay, right here. Yeah,
so
right
one
there.
More time for me?
So right here, okay, is a little W mark, and it has a little crosshair right in the embroidery. They're showing you the embroidery foot right there.
Yep.
Yeah, and so you just touch that, and that's what turns it on.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really nice feature. Okay, so then we're just going to touch that, and it will jump to where it needs to go. And it will sew out that embroidery design. So I have the blue and white variegated thread on, and it's going to do those little swirls. So, and it doesn't take long to sew it. It's only got like 3,100 stitches. But it's really fun, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, really fun. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but those are
fantastic.
Okay.
Well, while it does this, do you want to maybe just clarify a little bit
let's get. I'll go over this a little bit more. This is a Kimberbell product, and we know we always love our Kimberbell products. And we sold we've been selling these all along, but I guess when they first came out, everybody got them. So some of you may have them at home, and it's just kind of like a nice reminder of what you can do with them. But it has all the instructions in the book. So let's see. Here, I have the book over here, and it comes with a USB stick with all the different formats on it. And of course, we use the PES. And this is, it comes with all the templates for all the different sizes of the designs. And right here it says, like under contents, it says it kind of explains you what's in the essential set, know your towels, know your hoops, know your embroidery files, using clearable towels, quilting your project, seasonal table runners, and adding quilting to other products. So there's a lot of information in this book. And so here are all the different templates and all the different sizes, and you can see those, they're right here. And so you would go through and kind of decide what size you wanted, and then find your template. And then you would go ahead and mark. And let's see, this is an example. If you have a 6x10 hoop with embroidery filled size of 5.7 by 9.5, the following tiles will fit into your hoop. And so Kimberbell uses most of the time that 6x10 size, but all of those different sizes will fit in that hoop. So you can go as large as the 6x10 hoop. And Then, okay, then these are what your embroidery files will look like. So there's a winter one with all those different sizes, the spring, the fall, and the summer. So the winter has snowflakes and swirls. The spring has flowers and swirls. And then this is the fall. This one they show candy corn and, like candy for Halloween. And there are other ones too. And then also the summer has these little bees on it. And then we have the swirls, just plain swirls. That's what I'm using today. And then the loops. So it looks like just loops, like random, like stippling with little loops in it. And then there's also, so these are embroidery designs. But then there's also the border swirls and then also the border loops. And then the little mini bitty blocks, they call them. So if you have a little cornerstone, you can add like a set of mittens. There's a swirl. There's like a little honeycomb thing, and the flower.
I do have the full
Yeah, we can put
USB.
it.
Do you want to show on the
Okay,
Pathfinder,
yeah,
or?
let's go over there and I'll just show
Okay,
so we can talk
is-
more about this.
So the expansion pack. We were wondering which one we would need for the Meridian.
The Meridian, well, see, you need this one. You have to have that
the
one.
essentials
Yeah.
in order to.
Yeah, but for the Meridian, you can get the larger one. You can get this one too. If you have a 6x10 hoop machine, like if you go up to the Vesta, then you would just, anybody can get this one. And but for your larger hoops, your
so
larger
those of you
hoops,
who don't
you'll
have
need.
the larger hoops,
Right.
you would stick with the essentials,
Yeah,
and then the expansion pack if you have the larger hoop size.
yeah, because the USB stick comes. That's what the way
comes
I
with the essentials.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
understood.
Yeah, so this one comes with, let's see what they say. No, it's,
What size hoops do we have there?
this one, it will go up to 14. So you can use your Altair, you can use the Solaris, the Altair, the Meridian, and the Destiny, because those will go up to a 9.5 by 14, and the Solaris will also go up to the 10.5 by 16. But now this one has a USB stick in it. Let me find this out. Why don't you run down and I'll stick this in here. And I think, I was going to say, ask Gloria, but I'm pretty sure you had to buy this one
I think that's
in
what
order
we
to
were
use
saying in the
it.
comments.
Yeah.
I mean, there's more information on Kimberwell's website,
Yeah,
but
yeah, but I think that's the way I understood it, that
don't
you had to
forget
have.
these essentials.
Yes,
So
okay.
it looks like you need the essentials pack if you want the larger hoop size.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So
You need
you would have to get both.
So yeah, you would have to get both if you want to do those very large designs. If you've got anything from a Destiny on up, and if you wanted to use the larger designs, you could get this
Do we
one.
want to show this little image at the bottom just so
Yeah.
we're clear? It's a don't forget these essentials.
Yeah, don't forget the essential set. So there's the essential set, and then this is these are the larger templates.
And I
Yeah.
see there.
No. This is the no. This is the essential set, and it has the pens and the templates and the USB stick.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, that's helpful. Thank you.
Okay.
Do we
Then
wanna-
we'll put
let's go
this
look.
in, and see. This is here, just so you can kind of see what all you get. So we're going to go back to the home page, and we're going to go into embroidery edit, and then we're going to read what's on the USB stick right here. So you're going to touch that, and this says Kimberbell there. And so we see embroidery, and this says seasons. Okay, let's touch this one. Okay, those are all the different formats. So what we would do, we would like is the PES, and then so there's the Biddy designs. So let's just touch that, and this is the clear blue towels. So there's little swirls and the mittens and the little hat and the flower, the watering can, and the honeycomb. Okay, and then we'll return. Whoops. Okay. And there we go. And then this is also here, there's embroidery. And then this is the format. And so then there were the borders 2, the fall, the borders 1, and then the center and the loops. And then we have spring, swirls, summer, and winter. So if I touch swirls, and this, we want the clear blue tiles. The block has like a border around it. So I like these for what we're doing today. And so if I touch that, this one is 2 inches wide by almost 6 inches. Okay. And then this one is a 9.9 of like 10, I would say 8 by 10.
Okay.
Okay. So they have all the sizes on there. And then you just kind of plan it ahead of time. And then like this is a nice size. This is this is the 4 long, and then it's 2 wide. But you just scroll through and you'll find all your designs. And on the you'll have to on the Pathfinder you'll have to kind of select it to find out what size it is. On our Solaris, it has like a little name, like a code for the design. It has like, which is a group of numbers and then and letters.
Mm-hmm.
So they're a little easier to identify on the Solaris, but you just scroll through, and when you select one, let's see if I can find there. Let's see, this is the 6 by 6. And this one is the 8 by 10. So
Very good. So lots of sizes,
yeah,
and
yeah.
lots of designs,
Right.
lots of different formats.
Yeah, let's just take a look at this one. Right.
Sure.
Yeah. Here, I hope you can see it. I have a variegated blue and white thread.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we just come to you, or do you want
Yeah, and then
Okay,
I can
let's see.
take this off and we can look at the back too. Then you might get a better idea of what it. Yeah, and then this is a water-soluble pen, and I just take a damp washcloth or something and just wipe it off. And you could also use your heat sear. There we go. So that's the back of it.
Really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the next time we'll do the sides, and then we'll also we'll go over and I'll show you how I would do it on the Pathfinder. Or
Okay, next time?
yeah, next time. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Well, let's
Okay.
see. It's 4:30 now. Do
Okay.
you want to just maybe talk a little bit about the Pathfinder since we have them up here?
Okay. Yeah. All right. So this one.
Let me put that in the bubble so they can
Okay.
see some of the information about it.
Mhm.
Okay, here, I'm coming over.
Mhm. Yeah. So if this is a really nice embroidery-only machine. It will go up to the largest hoop will be the 8 by 12, which is a really nice size. So on our screen, you can either go to embroidery or embroidery edit. I always go to embroidery edit. So just in case you want to change something, if you go to embroidery, you select a design and you sew it out the way it is. But if I go into embroidery edit, I can pick a design and then I can resize it up to 20% or go down 10%, and I can do a little bit of customizing, and I can add lettering to it or add another design. But you can see this is the menu of all your designs, and you just open it up and you get a small little thumbnail picture, and you can scroll through. And of course it has like the book that I always like to refer to get the design. You know, you can see the size and what colors they use. But so let's see if we can bring something up here that we like. Okay, so let's say we wanted this design, okay? And I can, so there's my design, and I can go in. Now, right now, it's telling me the number of the thread, okay? I like it to tell me the color of the thread. So let's just go in here to the little settings page, and I'm going to go in and we're going to change that. So we have, and you can do this on all the embroidery machines. there's the largest hoop. Right now it's telling me the color number, but I want it to tell me the name of the color. Okay, you can sew up to 1,050 stitches. And I also want to, let's make sure it is in inches. So let's go back and here. Oh no, that's inches. Yes, it is in inches. I like inches instead of millimeters. So there's my colors now. It's telling me flesh pink, lime green, silver, and then the size of it is like about a 4x4 design. And you can you can touch that and you can zoom in and you get to see the design a little bit up closer. So, and then it also tells you what hoops it will fit into. So that one is grayed out. So it's telling you it's not going to fit in that tiny little hoop. And then I can also, let's see, let's go back here. Oh, let's see. I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back here and put it back on. There it is. All right. And then we're going to hit set. And let's say I wanted to add an initial to it. So I would go to add, and then we're going to go into our fonts. And this is the exclusive script. So these letters are very, very big. And so let's say we wanted to put, and we'll put a little H on there. Okay, that is the largest size. And so that's pretty big, so we can change it to medium. That looks like it might fit. So we're going to hit set, and then we'll take that and move it up and over. Okay. And let's say we want to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to go to size. See, right here is size. And then I'm going to select this one with the arrows pointing in, and we'll just... Let's see.
Size it down.
Size it down a little bit, and then move it up and over, and then you can also go like that. There we go.
You can touch it. And
yeah. Mm-hmm. And then we can also zoom. There we go. And then you can look at that, and you can get an idea of whether you like that, or if you want to, make it a different size. But it's a really nice embroidery machine. So you do have that nice big screen, and you can resize up to 20% and down 10%. You can rotate, you can change the colors. You have that continuous border option right here. And then of course, and you have lots of different fonts to use. And then when I take it into embroidery, there we go. It lists all the colors for you. And you can also, you have a sensor pen, and I should have shown that. We don't have it with us, but to center something, you can use your sensor pen. And it's telling me to maybe we'll do that one when we do the embroidery on here.
Sure.
Yeah.
So next week.
So what you would do is take the sensor pen, and you'd go over and touch with the pen exactly where the center is, and then the machine will find that.
No kidding.
Yeah, so we'll do that one. And then we have our accomplished two.
Okay. Let me just click that one in the bubble so they can see that information.
Okay. It's a really nice embroidery machine.
Okay, let me get the accomplished. There it is. So this is a good companion?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Now, this is the accomplished two, and it's, and we brought it up because people who like to make purses love this machine. It's a really nice machine for anybody that does home deck or quilting, or likes to do things like make purses. It's a straight stitch machine, but it comes with all kinds of attachments, so you can do more than just straight stitch. Like it comes with an invisible zipper foot, a walking foot, a free motion foot. It comes with but most of all, it has this pin feed system. So there is when the needle goes down, this pin comes up from underneath, and it kind of grabs the fabric. So it just feeds amazingly. You can sew up to 1,500 stitches per minute, and right here is where you would set the machine for the pin feed system. So you can see right there, the feed teeth are up, but then there's this little pin that comes up. And so you can use that, but you also can use it without it. So if you don't need it, you can change it. And then or of course, and then this is, you can drop the feed teeth, you can in different heights. And then you also have your scissors and your needle down, needle up button. But you can sew through, this is leather, and we've been sewing through that. Mm-hmm. So, and like I said, everybody who makes purses loves this machine. And I bet some people will comment even. Yes, so this one says, Melba says, I love my Accomplish too. So there's two Accomplishes. Though this one is Accomplish 2. This is the newest one, and it came with some other attachments, and you can also use some of the serger feet with this machine, and it comes with an attachment that makes binding. And then there's the Accomplish, and that one didn't come with those features. It just is a really nice quilting machine, or for heavy duty fabrics, home deck projects, and that one's a little bit less. So that
We have those too.
yeah, we have both of them.
The Accomplish and the
Accomplish
too.
too. Mm-hmm.
So,
Somebody else came in there. Everybody loves Accomplish too, but somebody was in last week and they said, I don't think I need that. They just were doing certain projects, and so she got the Accomplish.
And so these two machines are good companions for making these bags.
Yes, yes, yes.
All
So
right.
if you're, and everybody loves the machine. So if you that's another way to go. If you've got you still need a sewing machine to do your buttonholes and all your decorative stitches. But if it's something that you're constantly making purses and you don't feel that your machine is heavy duty enough, then that's a nice machine to get.
Well, that was very helpful.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, Carol, who works here, has the Accomplish. So it's a great one for piecing. Yeah, it comes with a 1/4-inch foot, and I have the everybody loves it. And so Linda Marlowe, she has it.
It's fast.
It's fast.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very fast.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, and is
Well,
there anything else? We had a couple of kits. If some of you are just joining us and you'd like to, or did they already?
Sure.
Did you already have them in the window?
Blooming Blue in the bubble quite a bit.
Okay, yeah, Blooming Blue was in there, and you all saw that one. That's what it's gonna look like after we get it quilted. The next thing we'll do is box the corners. We'll sew the right sides together and turn it, and then we'll work on the lining. So it's a pretty simple little tote bag.
Sure.
Okay.
And
then this one is Blessed by Nature, and this is really nice. Okay. All right, so this one is right here. This would be your fabric for your straps and your borders at the top and the bottom. And then the focus fabric, I just love this one, is right here. So you can see those beautiful colors. And then the inside will be...
Let's see these colors.
Yeah, let's kind of zoom in on those and we'll see. Yeah, look at that.
This is part of it too.
Yeah, this one, okay, these two pieces will be used for the inside. So you'll have your border up at the top like that. And then this one is the pocket. Okay, so you'll have your pocket. It will fold in half. And then this one is the lining at the bottom of the bag. So those look like that. So that was called Blessed by Nature.
Really nice. Okay. All right.
Okay, and I think that's it. The only other thing we had was, did you get the thread?
Oh, the thread.
If anybody wants that blue variegated thread, we have a spool for you to get to go with the Blooming Blues.
Oh, let's see. I hope I got it in here.
Okay, if not, we'll get it the next time.
We'll get it next time. Yeah,
okay.
I think so.
All right, yeah. Okay, but
here it is. Medley, variegated. This is by Exquisite.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. And
Denim
it's,
Blues.
wait, denim, let's see. Okay.
Denim Blues, I think is what it's called.
Okay. All right. Good.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's good. I hope you enjoyed the show. And now I won't be here next week. I'm like 90% sure I won't be here. But so we'll do this in 2 weeks. But Tiffany will be here on Tuesday.
Yeah, a lot of us are out, so we're
Yeah.
gonna do something special this Thursday.
Yeah, this
And
Thursday.
it's a secret. We can't.
Yeah, a lot of
Yeah.
us have to be away for the following week, right?
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
right.
Yeah. So yeah.
So make sure you join us on Thursday
Yeah.
for something special.
Okay. Good.
Cooking, and then next week, you'll continue on this.
Oh yes,
right?
yes. Yeah, we're going to finish the embroidery, and then we'll put then we'll put the bag together.
Let's see. I think so. Tiffany's back on Thursday. You're out next week.
Yeah.
Tiffany's back with some of the exciting things from London.
Yes.
And then the following week after next is when we'll
Yeah.
continue this. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
All right.
And then we might go back to 2 shows on Tuesday, where Tiffany does hers at noon, and then we'll do our Technique Tuesday at 3.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks for watching.
What time on Thursday?
Thursday,
7 p.m.
so 7 p.m.
So make sure
7-ish.
you
Yeah.
want to
Yes.
you want to be on the app for this one.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Good. So get our app. You just go to the App Store. It's a free app. You type in Gloria Horn Sewing Studio and download the app.
All right.
Okay. See
Well,
ya.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.